I only want to tell the people that it's the most critical election that we are going through. Trump promises a lot, but he's going to accomplish nothing. Marco is proved to be a conservative, and we Cuban people don't give up. He will be there until the last moment. Marco Rubio is going to be in the fight.
That was one of Marco Rubio's most passionate supporters, a man who talked about what it was like to be Cuban and to grow up in South Florida. And after talking primaries, polls, and his fellow competitors, we want to talk about family with Senator Rubio. Senator, great to see you again.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this. Do you find it ironic that people paint you with the brush of being some sort of elitist, given your background and the way you grew up?
Well, I find that interesting in the sense that everything I have, we've had to earn. You know, my dad was a bartender and my mom was a maid. I didn't inherit any money. The only loan I ever started out with was a student loan. We still pay a mortgage on our home now, and you know, people say you don't come from privilege. I do come from privilege, not economic privilege, but I come from an extraordinary privilege.
These are some great pictures.
I was raised by a mother and a father who were married with each other. They loved us, and they told us that it didn't matter that she was a maid and my dad was a bartender. I lived in the one country on earth where even the son of a bartender and a maid could be anything he wanted.
Do you
even
hold
president.
on to that? Do you hold on to that? Does that help you understand what real people are going through? Your dad is a bartender.
Absolutely. Not only did I grow up paycheck to paycheck, I've lived paycheck to paycheck. You know, when Jeanette and I first got married, we lived paycheck to paycheck for a number of years. I know what it's like to lose the value of your home. We lost the value in our home, and we didn't do anything wrong. It's just the market went down. I owed over $100,000 in student loans. We're raising young children today. We know how expensive that is, but we also know how difficult it is to instill strong values in a culture where increasingly we're being rammed down our throats, values that are not the ones they teach in our church.
Your wedding photo. Is it true that you met as teenagers, you and Jeanette?
I was 19 and she was 17.
So did you know right away?
I did. I'm not sure she did.
How long did you date before you got engaged?
7 years.
7 years,
I
okay.
was in law school and in college, and I think she wanted to get married to someone who had a job.
Did you always know you wanted to be a lawyer?
You know, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, an NFL head coach, a lot of GM in the National Football League. And I think I just got led towards law school because I had a real interest in the law and in the process of making law. And I always had an interest in public service and in the political process. I didn't know I'd run for office. I started out in a small city commission. And I was 27 years old. I live in a city of 5,000 people. West Miami, it's called. We had 800 voters show up for my first election. I knocked on every door in that community. And then, you know, Hialeah is part of the district that I was in the state legislature. Again, small district. And we've earned it all every single time, and we'll earn this too.
Do you feel like, looking back, did the young Marco Rubio make any mistakes that you want to share with the constituents out there? Perhaps they can learn from?
Well, you know what? I wasn't a very good high school student, and that cost me a lot of money. Because I wasn't a good high school student, I didn't qualify for scholarships and things of that nature, so I had to take out some loans, and I had to pay those back, and it took a long time to do, and they were very expensive. I do that very differently, of course. And so once I started paying for school, I became a really good student, but not before then.
How about now that you're a dad? You've got 4 children, all pretty young, two girls in their teens and then 2 younger boys.
That's right.
How's this been for them coming out on the campaign trail? I mean, they seem like happy warriors, but it must be hard on your family.
You know, I think the absence away from home is tough on us. They've been able to be out on the road a little bit. You met them in New Hampshire. But God's been good to us. He's really protected us and our family and kept us together. And through this all, we're a stronger family. And my kids have had an extraordinary experience. They've seen America, and they've seen this process in a way that a lot of people never get to see.
Now, you've said that you're not running for Senate again. And we don't know what's going to happen in this presidential race, but if it doesn't work out for you in campaign 2016, any thoughts on where we might see Marco Rubio go?
Well, you know, I don't define myself by the office that I hold. Public service is what I do. It's not who I am. My most important job is a husband and a father, and I want to do that job as well as I can. And as far as my career, next January, I will either be the President of the United States or I'll be a private citizen. And there's nothing wrong with being a private citizen. There's nothing wrong with not being in politics. I want to serve. If America will give me a chance to serve, if Florida will give me a chance to serve, I want to be their president. And if God's will is something different, I'm sure it's really good for me.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And thank all of you. Live in Hialeah. Thanks to everyone at home as well for watching our special Kelly File edition on the road in Florida with Senator Marco Rubio. Good night.